Doesn't it just piss you off when you're having a romantic moment in your garden with your crush and suddenly the motion activated lights go out and you then have to do some acrobatic stunts to turn it back on? That just kills the vibe. That's why I made this switch, and when I push it all the way to the right, the lights always stay on until I turn it off. So now I can have a date with my crush without anyone disturbing. Hello everyone, today I'm showing you how I made this motion activated light have options. When I press this switch all the way to the right, it always stays on. When I put it in the middle position, it's off. And when I put it in the left, it's motion activated. It only works at night, but you get the idea. And I hope you like that little intro I did at the beginning. Unscrew this one and this one. Every lamp is different, but I'm just showing you this particular one. And always turn off the power when working with electricity. And now I just have to remove these 4 screws. Now we're just going to take out the wires. Just unscrew the screw and pull it out. When measuring, make sure to measure the inside of the switch, because if you measure the outside, the switch will just fall through. I also made this template so it's easier to just mark it and cut it out. Now I am drilling holes so I can go in with my jigsaw and cut it out. Make sure the hole is big enough so the jigsaw blade fits inside. I'm also putting a hole in every corner so it's easier to cut with the jigsaw. Now I'm cutting it with the angle grinder, and make sure you don't go over the template. I'm doing this so it's easier for the jigsaw to cut it out. Now I'm cutting it out with the jigsaw. And make sure it's a metal blade for metal cutting. This is what it looks like. Here's the switch. We're good to go. I'm also gonna add some caulking so the switch is nice and secure, and hopefully a little bit more water resistant. Clean it up a bit. And this is what it looks like. Now I'm marking this piece of plastic because I have to cut this too, because it won't fit with the switch. I'm just using a handsaw. And here I just heat the blade up and just cut it through. I forgot to film that. Now I'm taking out these 4 screws so we can see the insides. This is our sensor. Now we take the switch. This comes connected to the wall, to the electricity of the wall, and it goes through here and here. And we have to connect the power to the middle pins of the switch. That means the power from the wall is coming to this switch. And when it's in the middle, the power stays here. It doesn't move here or here. And when you press it down here, the power goes from here and goes through these pins out. And if you press it on this pin, or if you press it down here, it goes from here to here. So what we have to do is put the power on the middle pins and put the sensor on these two. And behind the sensor, the wires, we have to put them here. So when we press down here, the lights work with the sensor, with the motion sensor. And if you press it down here, the lights work all the time. It doesn't stop until you put it in the middle. In the middle, there's no lights at all. What we want to do now is remove the solder here and here. I'm gonna let it heat up for a while. Let's prep these connectors until that heats up. So we're gonna need one pair and two pairs of these. As a heads up, I only used one pair. So take it and cut it off. Now it should be heated up. Let's try. Yes, it is. Now I'm gonna take my cable here and heat the solder up, and that will free the cable. Just like that. Perfect. And I'm also gonna remove this and this. Perfect. Now I'm gonna move this sensor aside. I'm gonna expose the wires a little more. Just like that. And it's okay here. Now I'm gonna take these two wires and cut them to roughly the same size as these. Or a little bit shorter, that's okay. Somewhere about here. Now we want to expose the wire on all four sides. Just like that. And now we're gonna put some solder on these wires. And also put some solder on these two wires. Now we want to connect these to these ones. Heat them up a little bit so they stick together. Okay, and now you can push them against each other and then heat them up again, and they'll become nice and flat. Just like that. The same thing with the blue wire. And now push them against each other and heat them up. Perfect. Now we want to solder this motion sensor back on. Perfect. Nice and secure. Now you can turn your sensor around and we're gonna add these connectors. Okay, now we are gonna put these connectors on these wires. I don't have a crimping tool, so I'll have to improvise a bit. I'm gonna push it down. And then I'm gonna put some solder on it so it stays nice and secure. Okay, same thing on the blue wire. Now we're gonna need some wires here that go to the switch. I'm gonna expose the wires here. Okay. And I'm gonna solder this on the sensor. Same thing for the blue wire. Nice and secure. Now we need connectors here. I'm gonna take these two guys. Now we're gonna put some solder on this so they stay secure. One. Okay, now we're done soldering, so we were not done soldering. Now we're gonna need 2 more wires that go from here to the switch. So this size is perfect, so we just need to expose the wire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Now we're gonna put them blue on blue and brown on brown. Now we're gonna attach these two connectors again. Now we're done soldering. Now let's put this back. Now we want to connect the wires. So these are the cables to run the light constantly. So because it goes directly to the controller. These are the lights. If you plug this in here, if you press it down here, it's gonna be motion activated. And this is just the power. So we're gonna put the power here in the middle. We're gonna put the browns down and the blue one on top. Brown is the live wire and blue is the neutral. Let's install this thing and hope we don't blow up. Now I'm just taking it apart, but backwards. If this is waterproof or not, I think it's about 50-50. I'm almost sure it'll blow up. Now when I push it all the way to the right, the light always stays on. And when I push it to the left, it works with the motion sensor. And when I leave it in the middle position, the light stays off. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked this video. Make sure to subscribe to not miss out on cooler projects. This was just something that was bothering me, so I thought maybe it's bothering someone else too. I'll see you in the next one.